Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start chapter 603 of I Have 90 Billion Licking Gold Coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. Well, I'll take a look. It won't take more than a few minutes. Qian Yuan flipped through the document, eyes scanning quickly. As he read, his expression changed, his eyes brightened. The more he read, the more impressed he became. The project goals were bold, nationwide, and even global market penetration. The financial burn rate? Insanely high. Worst of all, it would take years to recover costs, if ever. Heavy investment, low returns, high risk. Perfect. For someone like him, this was the ideal way to burn off dog-licking points without looking suspicious. Not bad at all, Qian Yuan said with approval. I didn't expect someone your age to already have such a sharp grasp on business strategy. This project lines up almost exactly with what I've been thinking. I'll invest. How much do you need? Xiling hesitated, then shyly held up one finger. She meant 10 billion. Even that felt like too much to say out loud. But Qian Yuan misunderstood. 100 billion? That might be too little. Silence. Xiling stood frozen. Behind her, 20 classmates stood wide-eyed, jaws hanging open. Eyes practically popped out of their sockets. This is what it means to be on another level. That's enough. Xiling stammered. All right then. Your regular bank account probably can't handle that kind of transfer. I've got a World Union Supreme Gold card right here. It has 100 billion on it. Use it however you want. If it's not enough, just ask me for more. I really admire your talent, Xiling. The business plan you've written might just change the entire automotive industry. I'm impressed. Keep it up. He gave her a firm pat on the shoulder, full of confidence and support. It was the kind of encouragement only a true mentor could give, and it left everyone stunned. Wei Xiling held the gold card in trembling hands. Her mind? Totally blank. Her heart? Pounding out of her chest. There were no words to describe the flood of emotion crashing through her. Am I really that talented? Is this project actually legit? Or did Qian Yuan realize I was bluffing and came to save me? But this gold card, it looks real. Would he really spend 100 billion just to play along with my nonsense? Xiling's gaze locked on him, eyes full of wonder. Her heart thudded harder and harder. This was the aura of a true CEO. So cool, so powerful, so impossible to resist. Wei Xiling, affection +1. Wei Xiling, affection +1. Wei Xiling, affection +1. Current affection, 93. If I hadn't found out yesterday that he was chatting with Duo while also talking to me, I might have completely lost control, fallen hard. But even now, knowing how much of a player he is, I still can't stop my heart from racing. Like a moth to a flame, I can't help it. Off to the side, Qin Wushuang was speechless. This guy, why was he throwing money around like this? Did he really have that much to burn? This project screamed red flags, huge investment, tiny profits. It was practically a money pit. But then she paused. Wait a second. Qian Yuan never does things that lose money. Is he planning something bigger? Suddenly, it hit her. What if this was all part of a master plan for the future of transportation? If they rolled out thousands of stores across the country, optimized services, gained complete control of the auto service network, then, if they launched a new energy aircraft program tied to those stores, combined with autonomous AI flight systems, it could revolutionize transportation as we know it. Those stores could become energy charging hubs for future aircraft. In that world, who would still buy cars? Qian Yuan wasn't just investing in a business. He was laying the foundation to disrupt the entire automotive industry. Such a deep, far-reaching plan. Chapter 1031, The 7 Great Problems. This guy silently pushed forward so many plans. If I didn't know him well enough, I would have never guessed. And he recruited a bunch of fresh high school graduates to carry it out? This team looks unreliable on the surface, but maybe that's exactly what he wanted, something that looks like a low-profit garbage project, like he's wasting money. But in reality, it's just a cover for a much deeper strategy. By the time those car companies realize what's happening, it'll be too late. Long-form video platforms weren't defeated by competitors, they were crushed by short videos. Physical stores weren't ruined by rival stores, but by e-commerce platforms. That kind of cross-dimensional strike, killing you without even showing the weapon, that's true mastery. You'd be dead and still not know how it happened. Qin Wushuang was shocked. Her look toward Qin Yuan had clearly changed. She had been angry before, blaming him. She thought that night he had gone out to fool around with other women, leaving her behind. He didn't come back until the next night. For a whole day and night. Who knew what he was doing? But now, it looked like he hadn't been messing around. He'd probably been handling serious matters. Later on, Qin Yuan accompanied Qin Wushuang to a research institute. She was there for an academic seminar. Inside were PhDs, postdocs, and top math professors, even academicians, participating. Qin Yuan had a degree in literature, so math obviously wasn't his thing. After she entered the conference room, he didn't follow her in. Instead, he wandered around the institute out of boredom. While roaming the halls, he suddenly noticed a white wall with 7 math problems written on it. These 7 problems. They seemed pretty difficult. Problem 1, the Riemann hypothesis. Problem 2, the Poincaré conjecture. Problem 3, the Hodge conjecture. Problem 4, the P versus NP problem. Problem 5, the Navier-Stokes equation. Problem 6, the Birch and Swinnerton-Dyer conjecture. Problem 7, the Yang-Mills existence and mass gap. Qin Yuan stared at one of them and fell deep into thought. He picked up a piece of chalk and began trying to solve it. At first, his thinking was slow, but gradually, something clicked, and he found a way forward. After working on it for a full 30 minutes, he finally solved the first problem. Math can drive you crazy when you're stuck, but solving a hard problem? That rush felt incredible. Then he moved on to the second question. Time passed quietly. 2 hours went by before he even realized. He studied all 7 problems repeatedly. In the end, he managed to solve 3 of them. He did his best. Man, this is giving me a headache. Spent all that time and only solved 3. I really have no talent for math. I kept rereading the other 4, but they still made no sense. I guess only actual math PhD students or postdocs could handle this stuff. I'm just a literature major. This isn't my thing. Qin Yuan shook his head, tossed the chalk, and gave up. He wasn't the type to force things. If he couldn't solve them, no point pushing it. A while later, Qin Wushuang came out of her seminar. Seeing Qin Yuan had waited the whole time, over 2 hours, she was unexpectedly touched. You waited here for me this whole time? Of course. You seemed down these past few days. Come on, let's go eat hot pot and cheer up. Sounds great. Qin Yuan, wearing a face mask, took Qin Wushuang's hand, and they left the research institute. Just moments after they left, a postdoc professor noticed the chalk-written formulas on the white wall. He was stunned. Professor Yang, come look. It looks like someone solved the Riemann hypothesis. The approach is completely original. My God. Within seconds, over 50 math postdocs, PhDs, and top expert Professor Yang gathered around. Everyone stared at the wall in shock. These were the 7 great problems in mathematics. The very first one alone had stumped the best minds in the world for over a century. Forget whether the answer was correct for a moment. Just having the courage to attempt it was impressive enough. Professor Yang put on his glasses and began verifying the solution himself. Then, he began to tremble. This formula, this solution, it's correct? Oh my God, the Riemann hypothesis has been solved. This could shake the world. Everyone was stunned. And that was just the beginning. The third problem, the Hodge conjecture, was also solved. Was that one correct too? Everyone scrambled to verify it with pen and paper. It checks out. The method and proofs for the Hodge conjecture are also correct. This is unbelievable. Someone solved 2 major math problems in one go. And look at the last one, the Yang-Mills problem. He even created a completely new mathematical formula. An hour later, every single math professor, postdoc, and even Professor Yang was in complete shock. They were trembling down to their very souls. Judging from the handwriting, all 3 problems were solved by the same person. Our seminar only lasted around 3 hours. That means someone solved 3 of the hardest math problems in the world in just 3 hours. One of the postdocs calmly analyzed the situation. Everyone went breathless, petrified, shocked. To solve even one of these would bring international acclaim, the Fields Medal, the Nobel Prize in Physics, and more. Solving 3? There were no words for that. Whoever did it could go down in history, surpassing even Newton and Einstein. Check the surveillance cameras. Find out who solved them. We need to host an international mathematics summit immediately. One of our scholars at Qian University just cracked 3 world-class problems. This is enough to rock the world and show the West. That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. Also, if you know other fans who were reading this manhwa but stopped because it got axed, share this video with them. The more support we get, the more motivation we'll have to keep making these videos. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.